Welcome back, everybody. This is Brothermutant here. Today we're going to continue our journey to complete the Maimed Saga. And if you recall from our last episode, we just got done finding out about the death of the Mountain King. His little outpost here, which is basically highway robbery at its finest, was used to actually set up apparently an evil cleric. Actually, let me walk you over here real quick. A couple of the things that we found out was we had bad guys that jumped us as soon as we got to the door, but also there's this wonderful tree of life over here, and it was actually the roots below the base was actually being used for some nefarious evil plot. So what we've done is we've ousted the cleric, took him out and his little panther too, and taken off everyone in the base, found the dead body of the Mountain King, took his armor just so we could have something to sell hopefully in the next town, and we blessed the roots of the tree of life, which apparently set off some evil roar which caused some serious problems. So without further ado, let's get into this next area. So we've opened up the gate from inside, and now we're actually heading to the next area. As you can see here, we've already completed this Hall of the Mountain King. So that's the end of Act 1, and now from what I understand this is the start of Act 2, approach to Navatranasu. This is supposed to be the actual town we're going to find out about the curse, so to speak. A couple days later, you wake to find Verona already up and active. Rise and shine, princess. The sun's peeking over the horizon. Why didn't you wake me sooner then? Snicker. Because I'm not too worried about it. Lighten up. Anyway, I scouted around a bit this morning, and then came back and cooked breakfast. Grab whatever you want out of the pot. Thanks, I'm famished. As you go about your business, you notice Verona shuffling her pack of cards and only occasionally drawing one at random. Inevitably, she scowls at the result, places the card back in the pack, and repeats the whole process. What are you doing? As you know, these cards were given to me by the priestesses of the Temple of Timora, where I grew up. They supposedly have predictive powers, if you know how to read them. Well, I've now shuffled and drawn from this deck several times, and you know what I keep getting? She quits shuffling and draws one from the middle, seemingly at random. She shakes her head in frustration and holds it up so that you can see. The card has the picture of a great black cloud infused with flashes of lightning. Across the top is the single word storm. It's called the Perfect Storm card. She begins to speak as though she is reciting a lesson that has been learned by rote. The Perfect Storm is one which indicates dark times are on the horizon. Like the animals of the forest, one should take care to find shelter from its devastation. She places the storm card back in the deck, shuffles a couple of times, and draws another card, again seemingly at random. Flipping it over, you see that it is again the storm card. That makes 11 consecutive draws. What are the chances of that, you think? Yeah, that's pretty obvious what's going on now. There's obviously a message there. Yep, Timora, the Lady of Chance, doesn't seem to be leaving much to chance today. She jams the card back in the deck and again shuffles a couple times before bringing the deck to a rest. Just for grins, let's try the bottom card, shall we? Or should we draw the top one? The top. She quickly draws the card from the top and holds it up. It is, of course, the storm card. Great. And that's number 12. No sense in doing this anymore. Let's just go. She jams the storm card again into the deck, shuffles quickly, and goes to place the card into her pack. On the way, she accidentally brushes the deck against her leg, causing the pile to fly out of her hand and scatter in the wind. Oh, shit. Instinctively, without thinking, you both grab at the cards flying around you. Most slip through your grasp, but you each manage to come up with a single card. Verona looks at the one she caught and then holds it out to you with a wry smile. The storm is clearly visible. And that's lucky number 13. Fantastic. Her brow furrows as she notices the card you are holding. Just a minute. What do you have there? Turn the card over. You flip the card over to reveal the picture of a single candle burning brightly on what looks to be an altar. Across the top is written the single word, hope. Verona gasps and looks at you with a gaze that is briefly reminiscent of awe, though she quickly recovers her normal flippant demeanor. In all my years, I've never seen this card drawn. Again, she recites the saying she memorized so many years ago. The light of hope sent to bring comfort to those whose lives are mired in darkness and despair. As if on cue, a peal of thunder rings out across the valley, and dark clouds seem to be collecting in the east. Even as she stoops to recover her cards from the ground, Verona gazes up at the sky with a look of foreboding. The gathering storm, and it's right over Navatranasu. Well, let's go see what the gods have planned for us, shall we? Yeah, sounds like a plan. Alright, look at our map. We are here And we have apparently a hermit's hut and a world map. Now, I don't know if we're supposed to be going to the hermit. I don't think so. But let's just get a good protection from evil buff on her. And I'm going to go in on...
Listening.
Sure, that should do us for now, I think. Alright, kiddo, you follow me.
I will lead now. Follow.
Yeah, I will lead now. You just follow. And shoot anything that gets within the line of sight. Alright, what we got here? We got a big, huge mountain pass. Pretty nondescript little... Oh, sorry folks, I forgot one more thing. I watched my Let's Play yesterday and I saw the chain shirt being a 4 base armor class, which is obviously better than the 3 that you get from studded leather. Maximum dexterity bonus only 4, which is still fine. She gets a -2 armor check penalty. That's for all her feats, or skill checks, excuse me. Of course, arcane spell failure means nothing to her because we don't have arcane spells. She requires light armor for this one, which is fine. This one here is 3. I could have sworn I saw yesterday that it was 3 plus 1. Could have sworn it was. I must be losing my brain. Unless I left it back at the other base, well, that'd be a mistake.
Yes.
Well,
You have me?
that's what we got now. Anyway,
Yes.
so she's got the better armor on now. I could have sworn I saw that yesterday, though. That's weird. And when we are fighting, I do like, as you know, this, because even though I get a horrible attack bonus, I get 2 attacks with a +7, as well as any buffs that I get. If I go one-handed, you see I go much higher, but then I only get 1 swing, right? And the chances that the +4 is going to land is pretty much non-existent. So it's the +9 or 2 +7s. And while I may not land the +7s both every time, I'll get 1, and more likely than not, I'll get 2. So I kind of like the double damage. I could just easily go this way, though, because it really does pump her armor class up. Even if it's only 1 more point, that's another 5% chance of them missing. For those of you that don't know those calculations, I highly recommend my videos that talk about armor class and ways to raise it. But let's get back to it, shall we? I am sporting an 18 armor class, and that's unbuffed. I have magic vestment. Matter of fact, I think I will put that on me because it is a long buff. And I'm not really sure how this one actually works. And what I mean is you can cast this spell, and you can see you can select the shield, and it buffs the shield, makes it magical. Or you could buff your armor. Well, since neither are enchanted, I don't think. Yeah, this is just regular armor. This is just a regular shield right now. Since neither are magic, I can buff either. What that means is much like a wizard or sorcerer's spells, like mage armor, which is an armor class magical enchantment, or shield spell, which is a shield magical enchantment, I can use this spell for either. That means I could literally cast this spell if I had 2 of them on myself twice, 1 on the shield, 1 on my armor, and get a buff for each of them, which is a pretty nice increase. But it doesn't much matter when we put it on. But as you can see, there's our +1. Oh, maybe that's what I was looking at yesterday. I did give her buffs. Maybe I gave her the magic vestment buff. Since she only has armor and no shield, her leather armor had the +1. That would make sense. Okay, now we're on track again. I have to figure these things out for myself. Sometimes I'm just thick. Okay, now we're coming up on a bad guy. Or maybe not. He's blue to us. Fan. Were we told about a fan? Fan was a bad thing, I thought. Well, let's find out. Here we go. Oh, he's charging us. What? Where did you... Wow, I don't get many visitors up here. Oh, pardon me. The name is Than Hardison. At your service. Greetings to you, Than. I am Nico Ogden. Thank you, and greetings to you as well. Do you live here alone, Than? Yes, of course. Why, when the town is so close? The town is not so beautiful, eh? The hills have so much more nature. Their beauty cannot be matched. Verona only murmurs to herself. She is obviously paying attention, but seems to be, on the whole, uninterested by the conversation. Do you live here alone? Yes, of course. Do you not fear the beasts of the hills? Ah, the beasts. Those that exist aren't so much of a threat. A few mountain lions, some wolves, that's as bad as it gets here. And they sure don't know how to open doors yet. Well, thank God for that. People can be far more dangerous than animals, eh? Depends on the animals and the people. Hey, luckily we don't get many of either around here. And how do you support yourself? Trap a few animals for food, exchange a few furs in town for clothes. What else do I need? Well then, good luck to you, sir. We still have further to travel before we can rest. Are you on your way to Navatranasu? Why, is this not the right way? No, I don't want to say that. That might offend her. I want to say my business is my own. I want to say no, because that's a lie. Let's just go with how did you know? The question was a courtesy, for that simply must be where you're headed. The only point of civilization for miles around is Navatranasu. Well, that makes sense then. And this road dead ends smack dab in the town center. I'm just surprised to see adventurers such as you going there. Hells, I'd be surprised to see anyone going there. The town often goes years at a time without any contact with the outside world. In fact, you're the first non-Navatranasan I've spoken to in, I'd have to say 5 years or more. Well, that's a long time before no visitors. You're going to create quite a stir down there, I reckon. Mind telling me what's going on? Say, where's your old hound Mortimer? He's normally here. Well, she knows this guy. What? Old Mortimer. Right. I don't know. Out and about hunting or pissing or, humping a bear in the woods. Okay. She looks around idly. Probably so. Hey, whoa, what the hell did she just do? Attack. Secret object. Hit. Levitate. Wow. In a flash, Verona draws her sword and delivers a brutal blow to the man's neck. Die, you bastard, and go to meet your dark mistress, whoever she may be. What the hell's going on? So you saw through my disguise, did you? It matters not. Ugh, I go to the abyss willingly. He chuckles emptily as blood gurgles from his mouth and runs down his chin. We all embrace the Dark One eventually. Even you. Even you. The bastard was a spy. I had to kill him before he let people know we were in town. Oh, how the hell did you know that? How did you know? Remember that conversation I had with Vanderl and the inner girls? Yeah, about Than. Remember that he said to be wary of Than? Well, that was the Than to be wary of. I never met him, but I knew him by reputation. So I laid a trap when I asked him where his hound Mortimer was, and he fell for it by answering that the dog was out hunting or pissing or whatever. It would have been the guess of a lifetime if I had actually pulled out of thin air that he both had a hound and it was named Mortimer. So she didn't know. Nice trap. Well, that's a good thing you were here then. It's a better thing that we met Vanderl on the way, otherwise we'd still be clueless. Anyway, let's get going. I have a bad feeling all of a sudden, and I'd like to get out of here before we draw other eyes upon us. Yeah, I'll see what the body's got. He's got a hermit's key. Oh, let's go to his place. Well, alright. I'm so glad I got me a Jamie. Alright, we got a hermit's hut. Anything around it. Quite the nice little shack you got there, hermit. Got himself a little water closet thing here, probably. Extra water or tankards of ale, maybe. Who knows? Anyway, use the key, get inside. Alright, do we anticipate trouble? Well, we killed the one guy, so probably not. Let's get a little light up on us, shall we? There we go. Oh, swanky casa you got here, buddy. Stuffed head. And a chest. And that appears to be it. A big pile of fruit. Got some candelabra. Got himself some hooch. Candles everywhere. Bottles everywhere. I wonder what he's been doing in his spare time. Jeez, man. That's a rolling pin. I thought that was another bottle. Or is that a scroll? That's a rolling pin. More bottles, more bottles. And it's like his booze. I see he's got his little bathing area and turning his butter. Alright, well, we got a stuffed head. Oh my, look at there. Gold piece and bloodstone. I'll take both those. And a chest. Whoa, human skull, stack of furs. Looks like we got some crafting items. Ceremonial dagger. What? Fantastic, another sick bastard storing animal organs in a chest. Hey, you never know when you might need some of these. That's true. But for what purpose? What? You act like this is unusual. You mean most people don't store decaying organs in their house? In all seriousness, it reeks of ritualistic sacrifice. The man outside did mention something about seeing through his disguise. If it was a magical illusion, there would be the need for some sorts of reagents, right? Well, that makes sense. What I really want to know is, was that not the real Than Hardison? Oh, that's a good point. Or was Than always an agent of evil? And if it's the former, what happened to him? Why wouldn't it be the real one? Does it make a difference? Yeah, it does make a difference, because if the other guy's gone somewhere, we can find him, and we gotta help the guy, obviously. And we should concern ourselves, because that single hermit basically just set a trap for us. It means he was reporting to somebody, so I wouldn't go with number 3 here either. Why wouldn't it have been the real one? Well, I've never met Than, but I've known of him for quite some time. You know, a friend of a friend of a friend. I always heard he was strange, but nevertheless harmless. So was everyone wrong, or was Than another unfortunate victim in the mess that is Neverwinter Nights? He would have been an easy mark up here alone. Either way, it seems clear that someone wanted to monitor this approach into town. Just as someone tried to close off a mountain pass leading here? Yeah, it sounds like they're all linked. Exactly. Someone's trying to cut that town off from the outside world even more than it already is, which is saying something, because it didn't sound like they get a whole lot of visitors anyway. Anyway, sort through dead body parts if you need to, but then let's go. Everywhere we look recently, there's the unmistakable trace of evil pointing right at that town. Honestly, it fills me with dread, but we'll not get to the bottom of it all standing here. Yep, that's right. We grab all that stuff? Yes, we did. Alright, shuffle that around. Oh, and was that poison? It was poison. Boom. One single use. For a blade of poison unsuspecting foe. What the heck are you doing with that? Why the heck would you think that that was the weapon of choice? Hold on, folks. I'm going to have to cut this part out, but I'm going to have to check her behaviors. Alright, folks, we're back. Hopefully we got it all sorted out. I don't know why it automatically switched her to that weird-ass weapon. Maybe it's because that's what she was using to kill the guy we just fought. It's not even queued up as a choice for her, though. It's kind of silly. Anywho.
I will lead now.
We are back, and we're ready to rock and or roll. I did want to pass her, before I forget though, a light hammer. And the reason for the light hammer is so that in case she needs a blunt weapon, as you can see, we got options. So we have 2 double-wield piercing / blunt. Piercing because she gets the extra attack bonus for those. Remember, she has skill in the short sword. And of course shield with the piercing weapon, and shield with blunt weapon, plus her bow, of course. Should give her plenty of options to do what we need her to do. And I also had it set still on that she'll use a ranged weapon, but doesn't have the back away feature, because she is supreme fighter compared to us. I figured, why have her back away? That's just silly. She's going to be the one that's going to be up front and personal. I'd much rather have her there in the thick of things with me. I'm not discounting her ranged abilities. Obviously, we're going to have her shoot, which is why we got her on the bow in the first game place. But if they get within her business, I'd rather her not try to flee away to get distance to start shooting again, when we could just as easily have her switch weapons to something useful and have her start wailing on the bad guys, and I'm cool with that. Alright, looks like we're heading to Neverwinter Nights. Starting to get worried there. It's taking a little long time to load up. Your journal has been updated. The Curse of the Vengeance. So this is Neverwinter Nights, Snicker. I'm glad to see that it's lived up to my every expectation. Yeah, it looks wonderful, doesn't it? No, I'm not going to go that far. Yeah, that's about what I expected, though. Sadly true. Very sadly. Anyway, I guess we need to talk to Jelica Van Gogh, and I have the sneaking suspicion we need to head to that mansion on the cliff directly opposite. Yeah, that would make sense. Lady Van Gogh. Yeah, we better get on it. After you, start walking. Alright, your journal's been updated. The Curse of the Van Gogh. Let's go look at that. Now that you have arrived in Neverwinter Nights, you should head immediately to the Van Gogh mansion and seek an audience with Jelica. Okay, let's take a look at our map here first. We do have an inn and general store, town hall, cathedral, 2 northern hills, and the Van Gogh Manor. Doesn't appear to be anything else And while I am going to go straight there, I am going to kind of meander my happy ass around the way.
I will lead now.
Just to see if there's anyone outside to talk to. Looks like that's the edge. Got something on a sundial. That's probably how we advance time. That could be important if we have to come back at a later date or something. Oh, we got a girl. Uninjured. Hey there. Nice town you have here. The little girl stares at both, a shocked expression on her face. Okay. Finally, without a word, she turns and runs down the street. Well, nice to see you too. Huh. Something scared her. It must have been you, of course, because it couldn't have been me. I know, maybe redheads are just terrifying to the poor child. Very teasing. I don't know, you scared me and I'm a hardened adventurer. Ah, well played. Spot passed. Oh, spot check. Yeah, oh, nice one. Very nice. That could have been bad. As you start off again, you see flashes from the windows coming from the corner of your eyes. Curtains are drawn aside and eager eyes peer out through window slats only to be withdrawn when you turn to look. You've noticed it too, huh? We're causing quite the commotion, though no one seems to want to talk to us any more than that girl did. I think we need to get to the mansion quickly. Yeah. Speaking of which, I don't like not having my light spell on. And all my spells are back, so just in case. You never know we're going to get jumped by a bandit or something. I'll make sure she's up, and I am going to... Now see, if you cast this directly on yourself, and here's the real problem with this, well, not problem, I shouldn't say it like that. The issue I have with this spell is you'll see it buffs the armor automatically. Now I had both, so it could have just as easily buffed the shield. And there is a fix out there, I hear, for those that have a shield. If you upload that new mod, Magic Vestment, when you cast it on someone like my character who has both armor and a shield, they will actually buff the shield preferentially. Why you'd want to do that as a mod, I don't know. But again, why would you want to buff your armor instead of your shield? Again, I don't know. I think you can actually target the shield itself, like here, outside your character. But I always just do like this and target it in here because I know it works for sure. So the downside is if you're trying to buff someone else's shield, I think that's probably where the modder thought it'd be useful. Okay, so we're passing on this. It is unlocked. Sundial, boat. Town hall. It is locked. Let's just try the door. You never know when you can pick something, right? Anything? Nope. Specific key. Okay, and we have the chapel or church, or whatever you want to call it over here, which is probably where we're going to set up shop, is my guess. I mean, we are the Holy Order of Tyr, right? So, and it appears to be locked as well. When was the last time anyone been to church? Not that I'm one to talk, but still. And if you are a holy people like you claim to be, what gives, man? Okay, now their door's locked. Okay, this is going to be annoying if we can't get into any of these places. Trying to unlock it. Do we have anything? No. This door is locked and barred from the inside. Knock. You rapidly knock her against the door several times. Flora pulls forth her deck of cards and whistles tunelessly as she shuffles them. Absent-mindedly, she draws one, nods knowingly, and then reshuffles the deck. What card did you draw? The mystery card. Big help that was, Timora. Tell me something I don't already know. She places the deck back in her pack. So is anybody home? Indeed, after nearly a minute there has still been no answer. I'm going to knock again. You hear a muffled cry from behind the door. Coming! Hold your horses! Alright, good, fine. After another brief wait, you finally hear the bolt slide back and the door opens. Well, alright. In we go. Okay. You are greeted by a woman with a high forehead, a sharp nose, and an imperious bearing. She gazes at you with a mixture of confusion and disgust, as if she's not quite sure why a stranger still bearing the dirt of the road would be standing before her. Oh geez, look at the eyes on those dudes back there. That's gross. Nice. So apparently she's a snob. Eventually her gaze falls to the holy symbol about your neck, complete with its shining silver scales, the unambiguous symbol of Tyr. Her eyes go wide upon seeing the symbol, and she stares at you, eyes narrowed and with an extreme look of distrust. Why have you come here? You called us? Well, I guess we shouldn't talk about the letter if this isn't her. So let's make sure this is the right person. Are you Jelica Van Gaunt? Who else would it be, right? That is not your concern at the moment. Your presence here begs an explanation. For so long our letters have gone ignored. How do I know this is not a trick? Why does the church come now? It is the first I have heard of these letters, and I came at once. This is true. She folds her arms and stares at you with a great deal of distrust. Really? Well, this is all highly suspicious. What is so suspicious? You sent for aid and it has arrived, so kindly dispense with the drama. She looks at Verona for the first time, a look of utter horror on her face. And who is that vagabond dragging dirt onto the floors? Oh, I'm really not liking this person. My guide Verona, without her I would not be here. Just wipe your feet and try not to sit on the furniture if you can help it. She barks at Verona as the ranger returns a wry smile. She's a... don't like you. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of her picking on my friend here. If you don't start being a bit more polite to my friend here, I'm going to leave you to your curse, got it? I already see a mistake. I am not the Lady Jelica. Oh, okay, well that explains a lot. I am her lady's maid, cook, and friend. My name is LeHugh, and I am the daughter of a long line of servants to the lords and ladies of these parts. This last part is said with a strong whiff of condensation. LeHugh Janus, maybe. I ensure that the lady is not bothered by those who would seek to do her harm. I protect her from the general riffraff and charlatans who seek to prey on her naive faith. And it is naive. Despite this family's loyal service these many generations, the Church of Tyr has treated them terribly, ignoring them as if they're so much flotsam. Okay, you can't really fault her for that. I mean, how long did it take for us to respond to this letter? Look, as the church envoy, I apologize for its neglect. Let me make this clear, sir. I consider it quite possible that you are an imposter, not even from the church to begin with. However, even if you... I got a big glowing ball of light above my head. Really? Fine. However, even if you are from the church, I do not consider you any more of an ally, at least not until you prove your intentions where Milady is concerned. Suddenly the conversation is interrupted by a soft voice. Please, Thess, this is no way to speak to our guests. The lady who comes forward seems to be in her late 20s or early 30s, though her face is already lined with age, and her hair shows the early signs of graying. Still, she has the gentle demeanor and soft voice of the better aspects of those born to the nobility. I am afraid you must forgive my friend here. She means well, even if her sense of tact could use a bit of work. But, my lady, how do we know we can trust him? She only smiles wanly as she looks at you over. She only smiles wanly as she looks you over. Oh, I think we can trust him. Call it a hunch. But... Thess, go and bring some food and drink for our guests. They must be hungry and thirsty after their time on the road. But... She turns to her lady's maid. Her voice soft, but her stare firm. Go on. I can handle it from here. The woman gives you one more wary look before slowly turning and disappearing further into the mansion's interior. I am sorry for that. Thess has been in my family service her entire life. In fact, I consider her to be more than a servant. She is perhaps my dearest friend, and so she tends to be a bit overprotective. I am Jelica Van Gaunt, and you, unless I heard wrong, are from the Church of Tyr. That I am, milady. The name's Nico Ogden, and I've been sent by the church in response to your call for aid. And I am Verona, sent to guide Nico to your town. Welcome to my home, and thanks for coming. I must confess that I am a bit perplexed by the church. I have written several letters, and my mother must have written a dozen, and likewise with her father before her. We have sent letters to Waterdeep, Daggerford, Yartar, Silvery Moon, even as far away as Neverwinter, but none before now has ever responded. Can you tell me why? How to respond in this one? My gut tells me I don't want to promise things that I might not be able to inquire further, so I'm not going to go with that one. This one sounds dismissive. Current church leadership, and much less the past leadership, it's like saying, who am I to say? I don't like that either. I should apologize, quite frankly, but I'm more inclined to this one here. I have no answers for you, but your questions are as troubling for me as they must be for you. And quite frankly, This is probably the more appropriate response for me, since I really don't have an idea what the hell's going on. I see. That's not as much as I had hoped for, but I suppose it is as much as I should have expected. But you are here now, and believe me that I am extremely grateful for that. My life has been a nightmare these past months, and I had begun to despair that anything could be done about it. Tell me of your troubles. I shall try to be brief, but it would be best if I could start at the beginning. The founder of my family was Alred Van Gaunt. Perhaps you saw the statue in the square on the way up here? He hailed from Waterdeep, and was a battle priest of the Tyrian Church there. In fact, he earned some manner of renown for bravery against the demonic host of the Battle of Flanan's Moor. During one of his adventures in this mountain range, he had a vision from Tyr. Tired, hungry, and nearly frozen in the merciless winter, a great set of scales, Tyr's holy symbol, appeared to him in the sky, surrounded by a heavenly light. The sunbeam radiated from the symbol and melted the 3-foot thick snow to reveal a patch of frozen berries. More than that, though, the heavenly light rejuvenated the plants, bursting the berries to life. As he was eating his fill, the light shifted, allowing it to be reflected off the snow and reveal a cave in which he could take shelter from the bitter cold. Every day, he sallied forth from the cave to find the berries rejuvenated, and in this way he was able to survive the winter. Very cool. After that winter, he swore he would build a monument to Tyr here. That monument is the cathedral next door. According to legend, the very spot where the sunbeam melted the snow is where the high altar therein now sits. The church in Waterdeep went further, though. It made him lord of the area and sent several settlers out this way to spread the faith into this benighted part of the world. He named the town Navatranasu. A weird-ass name is that. Alred ruled a great many years, 32 to be precise, before passing the title to his eldest son, Bale. Not long after the transition, however, the so-called Curse of the Van Gaunts began. What is this curse now? According to legend, it was late autumn in 1197. The chill was already in the air, and the leaves were well turned. The journals state that the wolves were following the game down from the hills, and so they were already coming into contact with the farmers. Bale and his younger brother, Asen, were constantly out trying to scare them off. It was a full moon on a clear, starry sky when the two brothers first saw what would taunt our family for 200 years, the beast of Navatranasu. Beasties. They were upstairs in the old mansion playing a game when a supernatural wind blew open the shutters of the window and doused the fire in the fireplace. The others got up to close the window when they saw the beast outlined against the horizon to the north. It was a wolf, only as tall as a man. Oh, we're talking werewolves now. It was a wolf, only as tall as a man at its shoulders, with ragged, coal gray fur. It was outlined against the full moon, howling, so say the chronicles, a strained, hacking, guttural half-growl. Finally, it turned to them, eyes literally glowing with a burning fire, 2 pins of flame outlining dripping fangs as large as my arm from my elbow to the wrist. Charming. The two brothers grabbed their weapons, assembled the house guard, and gave chase. Only a few stragglers would make it back the next morning. Their account said that the two brothers charged the beast even as their men fled in terror. Neither man was seen again, and nothing of either was ever found in the hills. They both completely vanished from the face of Toriel, and that has been the way of our curse. Before we go further here, folks, just to remind you, let's actually pause this, to remind you of the story of Tyr, the god who we actually worship in this game. The Maimed god lost his hand to a wolf creature, a very nasty Fenrir wolf made up of bugs or carrion or something horrible, and it literally bit his hand off, which is why he's part of the reason he's the Maimed god. He also had his eyes plucked out by Ao, which literally Ao is the name of the highest, if you will, god of the pantheons here. Ao is the god above all of them, and he or she is the one that basically smacked down everybody in a big, huge battle. The main god, Tyr, actually being the god of justice, questioned whether this was something that should be done. For his efforts, he got his eyes plucked out. Hence the reason they call him the main god. Now, the reason I point this out to you guys is we are talking about what I'm assuming is werewolves, but we're also talking about wolves in general. And his nemesis, so to speak, Tyr's nemesis, is that wolf creature. If we're fighting one of his denizens, this could be a very cool campaign. But anyway, that's just ramblings on my part. Let's find out further. Let's see. Once per generation, without fail since then, the beast has returned, always exactly the same as I described it just now, and each time, one of my family has disappeared under mysterious circumstances and without a trace, never to be seen again. The number of victims now totals 8, starting with Baal and his brother, Asen, and the most recent being my very own brother, the former Lord Jason III, who disappeared a mere 2 months ago. Now she's the last one. I don't know what this beast is, how it has lived hundreds of years, and how it goes decades between feeding. I can only guess that it is demonic in nature, but why it has chosen my family to haunt these centuries, I have no idea. Journal I've been up to, the curse of the Fangons. But just as my family has for generations, I have faith in Tyr, faith in his power to triumph over whatever devil is out there. She looked at you expectantly, her face belying her words. Oh, please tell me you can get rid of this thing. Please. Sometimes I think it more than I can bear. The power of Tyr will triumph over any demon or devil. You can rest assured of that. I knew my faith was not misplaced. Thank you. I do need to ask some questions first, though. Of course, I shall answer everything as best I can. You said your brother fell victim to this curse a couple months ago. Tell me about the night he disappeared. It was distressingly close to the story I just told about the Lord Baal and his brother Jason. We were both upstairs, he in the Lord's suite, and I in my own bedroom, when I heard him cry out, followed by a loud crash, like a shattered glass. I ran to his room to find him staring out the window towards the hills to the north. Well, that's the hill we have marked on our map outside. I felt the chill even before I got to the window. I don't know why, but I knew what I would see when I got there. There it was, just as the story said. She closes her eyes tightly as if trying to force away the vision. The beast of Namathrasu. It is the strangest thing. The next bit of time is a total blur. I remember Thess being there, and we ran to get weapons, and there was a bright flash, I think, but I don't really remember what happened. Okay, that's a little weird. I remember coming to in the Lord's suite to find my brother gone. Nothing else amiss. He was just gone. I totally broke down, and I remember Grayson, that's the groundskeeper, grabbing hold of me and shaking me to my senses. And that's really all I remember, or all I can make sense of now. I've spent every day since then trying to remember more, but I just can't. I wish I could. Do you have any idea where I should start my investigation? I am utterly at a loss there. I can't even point out for sure where I saw the beast the night it took my brother. I know it was up in the hills, but that night's all a blur right now, and it's been 2 months since then anyway. Beyond that, I don't have a clue as to how to go about finding a demon. I guess I was hoping that one better versed in the Divine would have a better idea than I do. Can you give me an outline of the geography around here? Sure. The lake outside is the Lake Navatra. It sits in a bowl in the Great Peaks that's low enough in altitude that it remains relatively ice-free for most of the year, even as the rest of the mountains become snow-logged. The village clusters around the southern and western sides of the lake, and because of the quickness of the rise, the buildings don't go very far into the hills. As you must know, Lake Namatra is in the path of the Delambir. The source of the river is higher up in the Great Peaks, and if you follow the river out, you'll eventually pass Daggerford and end in the Sea of Swords. There's nothing much else around here in terms of human population. There are a couple other minor cities just on the other side of the western edge of the mountains, such as Arvindale. But the height of the mountains means that the trip is a dangerous one, not often undertaken. What was that about Harvindale? Nothing. That really isn't tied in with this. It's an entirely different issue that I need to deal with, but I don't want to worry you about it. Okay. That's all I need to know for now. Very well, but you'll stay here in the mansion while you're in town. So first, please allow my lady's maid to show you to your room. Thess, you have free reign in the mansion, and may come and go as you wish. In fact, use it as you would your own home. You'll find the chapel right next to your suite upstairs. Outstanding, we're going to need that for getting our spells back. As for the town, people's homes are their own private affairs, of course, but this key will allow you into the town's official buildings, those being the cathedral and the town hall. Those are two locked, and of course now we have the key for that pimp. And now here she is. Thess, please show our guest to the upstairs suite. Very good, my lady. Oops. And if you need anything else, please do not hesitate to ask. The mansion is a large place, but I'm almost always around somewhere. Thank you. Got her key. Boom. Well, alright. Let's see. If this cuts away to something here, we'll do a quick save and we'll call it the night. That's a lot of info, though. Let's finish this here. This suite has been prepared for you as per the lady's orders. Let me know if you need anything, but do try not to need anything. Oh, she's friendly as always. You don't want us here, do you? It is the lady's desire that you stay here, and so you shall stay here. My opinion is quite irrelevant. But since you asked, I do not think it is wise to trust strangers. This town has had naught but ill luck with outsiders in the past. Why the lady has seen fit to trust you without proof, I know not. Until I see differently from you, I shall consider you to be just another vagabond, charlatan, or worse. Anyway, you might as well settle in and make yourselves at home, until later. Rowan waits for the door to close behind Thess before looking at you, a wry smile creeping onto her lips. Perfectly delightful woman. Yeah, she casts her gaze around the room. Not a bad place Jelica has here. Not bad if I do say so myself. I mean, it's a shame about all that curse business, but her house is magnificent. Oh, look, they've been so kind as to provide a map of the area on that table over there. That might prove helpful should we ever need to leave the town. And those chairs over in front of the fireplace look mighty comfortable. Though we'll undoubtedly be too busy most days to make use of them. Oh, we should take a nap. Anyway, I'll go ahead and take the front room. The back one is bound to be a bit quieter. Not that I expect noise to be an issue here. Give me a few minutes to unpack, and then we can get to it. Well, alright. Okay, here we are. And with that, I think... Let's go out the room. There's our map. Doors. Fireplace. Some chairs. Some bookcase. Another door. Ooh, paintings. All kinds of cool stuff. But with that, I think it's been long enough for this video. My name's Brothermutant. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. So far, I'm kind of impressed with the detail. The story itself seems to be pretty immersive. I'm trying to figure out what the heck we're going to do. I guess we'll scope out the mansion. Of course, we can still head to town. We have the key now, so we have 2 buildings to explore. And we did have, I think, a weaponsmith of some kind, or an inn. Maybe there's a weaponsmith in town. Somewhere I'd like to sell off some of this gear. We got a lot of useless stuff, and I don't really like her having weapons that she shouldn't be using. I want to keep her to her short swords. But with that, my name's Brothermutant. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye now.